Greetings, terrestrials! The date is December 16th, 2021. The Earth is in retrograde, and these are some strange times indeed. You, of course, are watching Strange Times Indeed right here on twitch.tv/metcomedynight every Thursday at 9 o'clock. Here on this show, we venture out to explore the strange, the unexplained, be it extraterrestrials, interdimensional beings, ghosts, aliens, if you prefer to call them that, or extraterrestrials, however you do it, cryptids, Mothmen, flatwoods monsters, Braxies, you name it, you can't name it. We want to hear about it, and that's why we take your calls every week here on Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister, but this week we're not taking calls. Sorry, folks. Our tech got himself a gig. So guess what? We're here running it solo, but that's okay, because we're gearing up, my friends, for Prometheusmas, the yearly celebration of the birth of a deviant little star child called the Xenomorph. A Christmas film, Prometheus. Every year we watch Prometheus on the stream together. We'll be doing that next week. Next Thursday, I believe. Next Thursday, should everything go according to plan, we will be hosting our Prometheusmas stream. So you got us here gearing up for Prometheusmas. We got our Yeti sweater on, and tonight we got a fun Prometheusmas activity for you all. So those of you at home, I hope you got your gingerbread ready, because we're going to be making some little gingerbread houses, but with a Strange Times Indeed twist. So keep an eye out, we'll be getting into that, but first, my friends, first terrestrials, we've got to get into our top stories. Alright, this first top story, would you believe it? We covered this a little recently, but here's an update. The Bigelow Institute for Consciousness Studies. Robert Bigelow, former owner of the Skinwalker Ranch and a aerospace billionaire, has formed the Bigelow Institute for Consciousness Studies to see if they can find empirical evidence or proof that the consciousness continues after bodily death. And so he has put a call out to the scientists of the world. He put together a group of judges. He said, go out, I want essays, I want whatever proof can be given as to the evidence of life after death, or the continuation of the consciousness after the death of the physical body. And so he has put those out, and now, not only have the winners of this contest been, does he own Bigelow Teas? No, I believe that is a different Bigelow, but I'm sipping on a Bigelow right now. Does he own Bigelow Teas? No. I just answered the question twice. Why? That's how my brain works, folks. It's a wonderful and weird world up in here. But the Bigelow Institute for Consciousness Studies announced the winners of the competition. And the third place, the first three places, first prize, second prize, and third prize. Here's the first prize essay, was called Beyond the Brain, The Survival of Human Consciousness After Permanent Bodily Death. This got a $500,000 prize. And the PDF of this is available at the Bigelow Institute for Consciousness Studies website. That's bigelowinstitute.org. You can find all of the PDFs for all of the essays that were submitted here. So if you're really interested in finding out about the continuation of the consciousness after bodily death, there it is. There you can read into that. Maybe we'll get a group of people. Here's what I'm thinking could be fun, is getting a group of people, and one group reads one essay, one does the other. We get together like a book club. But here on the show, we'll plan it out, and we can figure out what happens after you die. The second prize winner, this was, well, I didn't say the first prize, though. The guy who won the first prize was Jeffrey Mishlove, PhD. Second prize, for $300,000, Pim Van Loman, MD. He wrote The Continuity of Consciousness, a concept based on scientific research on near-death experiences during cardiac arrest. And third prize, For $150,000 went to Leo Rubicki, PhD, for an essay titled Ghost in the Time Machine. So there you go. Does life continue after death? Does the mind keep going? Well, studies are out there, and we haven't taken the time to read those PDFs, but we have downloaded them, and we hope perhaps you will too. We'll get a book club together. Tea break. When you're talking 100 miles an hour, it's important, especially on a night when you're doing a holiday activity, to remember to take a moment to sip your tea and enjoy it. Because you're the only person on the show tonight. You don't have a tech guy to bounce things off of and ask questions to when you need a breather. So there will be occasional moments where we'll all sit back in our chairs here in the studio, and you at home, the viewer, and you'll say, all right, tea time. I'm sipping spearmint tea. Keeps it going strong. All right, here we go. Bum, 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 bum. Next news story. All right, folks, we got another in a continuing series of Mothman sightings in the Chicago area. This is a man who had 2 reported sightings, and this is a guy, he's familiar with the forested areas around Chicago. He has seen blue herons before. And many people, they thought when the Mothman was first appeared in Point Pleasant, some folks wrote it off. They said it's just a blue heron. Oh, blue who is what we say here at Strange Times Indeed. This is a guy who knows what a heron looks like. And his first encounter happened in a parking lot as he was leaving the gym near the Des Plaines River. He says, "It was quick, and the thing noticed me. It was a huge bird with a 6-foot wingspan, layers of feathers, with a crest on its head. The most notable feature was its long, spaded tail. It looked so cool. It looked young, and as soon as it noticed me, it immediately turned right back in the canopy. It was actually kind of interesting," he added. "It did not want to be seen. I wonder what kind of bird that was. Either way, it was cool. A cool teenage Mothman sighted in the sky." Now, this is the first incidence of one of these sightings where he said where someone has noted a long spaded tail. Now, I don't believe tails are particularly common to the Mothman. But I can't help but wonder. We've got a creature with a 6-foot wingspan. We know it's got wings, it's got layers of feathers, and a crest on its head. So it's got something on its head a little different from normal. A huge bird that looked so cool. I can't help but wonder if what this thing with a long spaded tail almost kind of puts it into a different cryptid category than a Mothman. Unless there are moths with prominent tails, I'm sure there are many moths in the world, there are probably many variations on the interdimensional being that could be the Mothman. Could it be a hybrid? That's very possible, Big Sack. I was wondering myself if perhaps this might be some sort of snallygaster type creature. Given the tail, after all, the snallygaster are local to our own area here in Frederick, Maryland. But the Mothman first sighted in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Subsequent sightings at Chernobyl, and now here, in this case being defined as Chicago. Not here being defined as the place where we currently are. In the man's second sighting, he says it was a hot day in September, about 86 degrees, hot for Chicago. He says, "I was at my front door and I look up and there's what appears to be a mythological harpy flying really high and in a vertical pattern and very slow. The thing looked exhausted and looked like a shorter person or a kid. Definitely humanoid with feet dangling, wings barely flapping, and obviously not flying straight in that up and down vertical manner. It was flying in a northerly direction towards O'Hare International Airport. Strange indeed. It was bald and no feathers on the body, just feathers on its wings. And it looked dark, or black. Did you hear that? Strange indeed. That's what he said. I didn't ad-lib that. That was in the quote. Strange times indeed, my friends. Strange times indeed. And of course, this is just one in a many growing series of sightings of the Mothman in the Chicago area. In fact, if you go to Singular Fortean and click singularfortean.com, this is where we are pulling this news story from. Tobias and Emily Wayland reporting there. The headline of this article is Man Reports Multiple Chicagoland Sightings of Winged Creatures. And in this article, you can find a link. In fact, I can paste it in the chat, I think. Now that I'm running the show from home. You can pull this up, but I've got a screenshot. Let's see if this works. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Okay, that's not gonna work, and that's fine. I got a screenshot. You follow my directions, you go to that website, click on that news story. You'll find a link within there to this map, this Google Maps thing, which is a recorded outlining of all of the sightings in the Chicago area. Any Chicago sightings of the Mothman in the Lake Michigan area are recorded and plotted at each point where they have occurred there. And you can go in and look at each one. I think this is an incredibly valuable resource. And clearly this is a creature that has been sighted in the area, or similar creatures that fit this description that can't quite be defined in the area. It has reached into the hundreds at this point. So something is definitely afoot in Chicago here. And so if you are in the Chicago area, be on the lookout. Keep your cryptid eyes open, because the Mothman might be out there. And of course, Mothman is so pertinent, so on the minds of many, as just yesterday was the 54th anniversary of the Silver Bridge collapse. The bridge connecting the town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, with the neighboring state of Ohio, which collapsed on December 15th, 1967. It happened during rush hour traffic, and there were a resulting 46 deaths as a result of this bridge collapse. Now, there are many different. Basically, comes down to some structural things. Look, I'm not an architect. I'm not gonna try to bullshit why the bridge collapsed. I'm gonna be honest with you, folks. I'm not an architect. But boy, keep that in mind tonight when we are getting into our fun holiday activity coming up very soon. Anyway, this bridge collapsed. A tragedy for the town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And some say this was around the last time that the Mothman was sighted in the area. The Mothman had been sighted for about a year prior to this. And the sightings increased to a certain point, and then after this bridge collapse, the Mothman disappeared entirely. Now, some could say perhaps that was because of the trauma the town sustained as a result of the bridge collapse. But for the fact of the matter is, the Mothman stopped coming there, and some believe that the Mothman was trying to warn the people of the coming bridge collapse. Some believe it was an omen of bad times, and some say that the Mothman caused the bridge collapse entirely, which I think is very unfair to say. But the Mothman is a powerful entity, regardless, and has been sighted in Chicago over 100 times. over the past few years. I mean, this is... Who's to say? Look, anything can happen. I'm just saying. The Mothman's been in Chicago an awful lot. And the Mothman does not always lead up to a fun party. Now, as we find ourselves 54 years from the Silver Bridge collapse. What more should we do? By the way, I pulled this picture off the Instagram page of my friends, the Moth Boys podcast. Check them out, Moth Boys podcast. That's the Instagram feed I stole this picture of the bridge from. Looks like they got it from a nice postcard. So, there you go. Shout out to my pals. There we go. Okay, here we are. My friends. Guess what? It is at long last, time for a holiday activity. Tonight on the show, we are making Mothman gingerbread Mothman houses. Where's the Mothman from? Where was the Mothman originally seen for the first time? But the TNT area in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And wow, I was such a dink. I forgot to download a picture of the TNT area. Give me 1 second, folks. I've got to have it up for you all to have just a nice little reference. And there it is. An area in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, the TNT area here. Pictured here, we're going to make a gingerbread TNT area, a TNT bunker here where the Mothman can spend his nice holiday season. Put himself behind those barricaded doors meant to protect tons of radioactive government armaments. And instead, here now, a nice, cozy gingerbread house. We're going to get that going after just a quick word from our sponsors, because I have to get the music started again. And then we'll get right into it, folks. Keep your eyes peeled. You're watching Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister.
No Virginia is a wonderful holiday farce.
This weird play I wrote. It is a Christmas comedy.
The title comes from the famous letter from the little girl that wrote to the newspaper asking if there really was a Santa Claus. So it's a play about belief.
It is about a woman in her early 30s named Tiffany. She is now hosting a party for the kids, and she wants to have a Santa Claus at this party.
Are you worried because I don't look like a department store Santa?
And, well, just everything kind of goes wrong.
There's a bunch of people going indoors that they didn't come out of, which I really like, very Benny Hill style.
There are complications with getting the Santa Claus. There are complications with her ex-husband.
I love any script that can make people laugh or cry in the same show. And I think this has the potential to do that.
It's about a woman coming to terms with her own identity as an independent woman and breaking with expectations that have been just passed on to her by family traditions.
And there's a lot of interesting religion talk. There's a lot of God stuff.
Her daughter is maybe aging out of Santa Claus a little bit.
Like, it's really funny. It is a farce. There's lots of fast-moving entrances and exits and some great lines written by JD, some really, really great lines. But it has heart as well.
There's just there's a lot of balls in the air for Tiffany to juggle, and come and see how she does.
You should apologize, Tiffany. You destroyed the living nativity.
I just kicked it.
Greetings! Greetings, terrestrials! You're watching Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. The date is December 16th, 2021, and the Earth is in retrograde, and these are some strange times indeed. Tonight on the show, we are making gingerbread Mothman houses. Little TNT area bunkers right here on the show. A holiday activity. Now, it's important to know that for the best results, folks, for the best results, you have got to massage that icing pouch. You have to massage that icing pouch for 2 minutes. I got a head start, you know. I knew this might be a little graphic. So I got a head start on massaging the cream. Icing. Alright folks, here we go. Let's get into it. Now if you're making a gingerbread house, first you gotta have a base. First you gotta have a place where you are gonna lay down that foundation. You gotta have your things. Now if we're looking at, let's get our reference up. Let's get our reference up, but let's move it into a corner. Yep, let's get the email off the screen. Hey, except, fun fact, if you're making a gingerbread house at home tonight and you want to send in your picture at the end of the program, send it to strangetipsindeed@gmail.com. We'd love to see your bizarre, strange gingerbread house. It doesn't have to be a TNT bunker, but it can be. That's what we're doing this year. So there's our little reference in the corner. All right, here we go. So we gotta lay down our foundation, and oh boy, I did not cut this thick enough. Oh no, I didn't cut it thick enough. Oh! Look, I've learned my lesson well enough about just how much prep you have to do on art night. And I've done more prep than before. A Cliff that did not learn from its mistakes is a Cliff that would have opened the box live on air. Alright, let's lay this foundation. Oh, you cannot see it. Sorry, folks. There we go. Okay. There's our foundation here. This is going to support our doors to our TNT area bunker. Oh, wonderful. There's already a cat hair in there. Look at that. They stay up pretty well on their own. All right. This is going to have to be a little bit wider. While we're doing this, I've got 4 people watching. And I really got to focus on putting this thing together logistically. So if you have a question or anything, put it in the chat. And I will do my best to answer it. Alright, now the TNT area, we got our things on the side here. You're probably thinking to yourself, Cliff, where do you get the pieces to make a TNT bunker? Well, I got this kit from Bed Bath & Beyond. They're on sale because it's almost January. No one wants to make a gingerbread house anymore. This is going to, I can tell already, this might be a little logistically difficult. But I believe in us. And I wonder, let's see if we can't. build in some back support behind there. Oh, yes. That might be the way to go. Let's put a little more up on the front. Oh, no. Oh, no. See, this is where it's hard, folks. This is hard to pull off. I'm not an architect. I've said it before. I'm not an architect. But in the end, I think we're gonna have a really cool gingerbread house. Nope. Oh. We need to use the other pieces to hold it together. To hold it together, please. Please. Think of the architecture, somebody. I'm determined. I am a gal about town. And we are making Mothmen gingerbread houses. Even if this is a terrible position for my back somehow. What the heck? How old am I getting? There we go, we've got it. Yes. Let's push that into place there. I believe in us. Maybe me just pointing it, pushing it in one way isn't gonna make it stay that way. I realize because I am an honest creature, and I present nothing but honesty to you all on the show. That's why I didn't use hot glue to build this. I want you to watch me suffer. There we go, okay. That's what it needs. That support piece on the side. Oh, come on, come on. There we go. Okay, so the next part, I suppose, is putting a little icing on this. And in fact, this can go... I'm not a fan of the taste of gingerbread. But I don't have... Oh no. Please. Please behave for me. Maybe if I glue the back. Maybe if I glue the back. Tonight on Twitch. If you're not watching the NFL football game streaming live on Twitch, you're watching a 31-year-old have a real hard time. Oh, come on, come on. Maybe perhaps if we cover the joints. Cover the joints. Yes, please. Okay. I feel like it's constantly leaning forward. we go. Okay. We've got a good start to what would appear to be the temple that Jesus Christ himself hid in. How apt for the holiday. Now, the question is, when you figure out how to do an architectural wonder, you have to treat yourself to a little bit of icing as a treat. Now make sure you glue down those sides. Make sure you glue down those sides on the front there. You don't want this thing sliding out of control. You know, this thing is barely holding on. This thing is barely staying together. But for the Mothman, it's going to be real cool. Oh, yes. I would honestly, I think that's gonna be it. Now, this means that we're gonna get into the details early. But I support this. If I'll put a support beam in the back. So what we're doing here, what you can't see, because of the way the cameras are set up, is I am putting one piece here. And in fact, I will get a picture of this on my phone, and we'll post a process thing on the Instagram. Because you've got to. So this is kind of what it looks like top down. Our Mothman looks like that. Looks like that. And from the front, it looks like this. It's leaning forward a lot. It's leaning forward a lot. So you kind of have to encourage it to go back some. Hope you have more icing. We've actually got a lot. This thing came with 2 packs. I got a thing to make a whole village. A whole village of gingerbread houses. And it was on sale. It was on sale. Bed Bath & Beyond, so you can go and make your own. The one in Frederick has so many. Every other website will tell you their gingerbread things are out of stock. But the Bed Bath & Beyond in Frederick has all the gingerbread you need. Kits among kits. There we go. Okay, that looks good. Let's shore that up here. Let's put a little bit of masonry here. If there are any Freemasons viewing the show tonight, please send your secrets to strangetimesindeed@gmail.com. There we go. Okay. Alright, let's get into these details, folks. But first, we'll get to the special Mothman last. We'll get to them last. Alright, here we go. Now, this is where the treats come in. This is where we get so many extra little treats. Alright, hold on one sec. Let me get a good photo from the front. Okay, let's adjust. Sometimes you gotta get another view. There we go. Okay. Oh, and we have to put some trees in here. We gotta get some trees. Alright, terrestrials, here's what we got. Bags of candy, which means those of you who are into bag ASMR, you're gonna get it tonight. Look, we're here in the woods, Point Pleasant, West Virginia. We have to have some little trees. So let's go ahead and we're gonna decorate our trees some. We got some green. We got some green and we got some icing as well. Whoop. There we go. Oh my goodness. Alright, there you go. That's a tree. And of course, you gotta have a little bit of snow on that tree. You gotta have some snow on that tree too. Put some snow on that tree. Get some snow on that tree. Oh my goodness. And then let's plop her down here. You gotta have your glue, otherwise it's not gonna stay up. I don't think it's gonna stay up either way. I'm not... The problem with this is trying to get it to stay on the bottom. Alright, perhaps what just needs is more glue. There we go. Czar's got a bit of a sweet tooth tonight. Alright, here we go. Snow on our trees, green on the trees too. That's Christmas time to me, yes. That's Prometheus time to me. There we go, okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, now let's get some snow on the top of this TNT area. Let's get some snow up on top here. Uh-oh! Tree down! Oh boy, oh boy. Well, you know, let it lean a little, I suppose. If we fight the trees all night, it's all the show will ever be. Okay, here we go. Put a little snow on the side as well, and you will find yourself. There's not going to hell on Prometheusmas. Are you prepared? Oh no! We don't want the trees to fall forward though and ruin their lovely, lovely look. We gotta add some icing to the side of this, because the icing is code. The icing is code for snow. You know, a lot of people, they see that and they go, oh, there's snow on that there gingerbread house. Yikes, okay, well, there goes some of the decorations. Alright. Let's get in with the green one up front. And we'll put a little bit of green on the side here. A little bit on the side. Oh yes. But mostly nice. A little bit on top. A little over there. Oh yes, and then there's that one. Oh, okay, the Christmas tunes have ceased for a moment. Dang, I'll shoot it. Let's try that one more time. Alright, there it is. We're still rocking, we're still rolling, terrestrials. Hope you have more icing. Okay, well, that's the most recent thing. Here we go. We gotta make the doorway here. Oh, here we go, we got it. Okay, perhaps I should have done this part earlier. We'll decorate it another way. When in doubt, adapt. This has got to be where the little jollies come in. Now, what I think is great is we've got these little holly jollies. They look like, well, they're hard to see on the camera. They're little holly jollies. You see what I'm saying? Do these read on cam? It's got a holly and a jolly. Holly jollies. There are little red ones and there are little green ones. But if you put a little red one on, and you put two little red ones on, suddenly it's like, oh, are those little eyeballs? Are those little Mothman eyes in the tree? Is there a Mothman watching me over here? I don't know. I'm not sure if that's where Mothman is in our artistic installment here. I apologize for being off cam, but the easiest way to access the front. I'm not risking turning this thing around. I know so many of you tune into this show to get your weekly glimpse at my pretty face, and truly those of you who do are my favorite fans. But my most favorite fans are any of the fans who back us on patreon.com/strangetimesindeed. That gives us funds to do this show, to get this kind of this kind of production, this kind of artwork, this necessary tool, educational tool. How else can you teach children about Cold War, post World War II, TNT architecture, and the lasting impact that just this one thing will have? Oh no, gumballs on the floor. That's alright. Here we go, okay. Now let's get a little more icing on the top here, because we can just put some fun jimmies up there. Bum, 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 bum. Where are they? Here we go. Some holiday leaves. Let's go here. Dun dun dun. A little bit of snow on the top of our TNT area bunker. Let's see the top for those of you at home. There we go. All right. Well, I think this is a very fun holiday setting. But the only thing missing in our area. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm still here. 1 second. Parlez-vous, s'il vous plaît. Let's get this back up. I believe in you, webcam. We have to have our Mothman. Oh, pardon me, pardon me. And so here we have our little gingerbread man, and you're probably thinking to yourself, I don't know, Cliff, that's a little man. It doesn't look like a Mothman. That looks nothing like a Mothman. A creature with bright, dark, dangerous wings. Drenched, scorched in earth. This is culinary. Okay, this worked when we tested it. Oh, yes. Oof. There we are. Let's see. They only give you one color of gingerbread. Don't worry. You've got to just really toast that sucker. Come on, dude. Always remember to disperse the smoke from your scorched earth, Mothmen. Forged in the fires of another dimension. You must disperse the smoke, or it will trigger the alarms. Mothmen don't have feet. They hover, they float. There we go. Okay, come on. Toast up, buddy. Woo! Alright, that's where we start. Once that happens, once we have our woo moment on air, that's when you go, alright, we've heated it up enough. We've pushed the limits of what we can do with this gingerbread man. Now, what are Mothmen known for? But their big red eyes. So we've got to give this Mothman his proper eyes. Here, we'll do it over here. You know what? We're just going to do it here. And you will trust the process. Oh, good. These are going to be very... There we go. Ooh, oh yeah, and then just right there, hovering over it. That's how you gotta do him. Which means we can make him a little shorter too. Hovering in the back. Mothman's a lurker, you know. Mothman's not up front. Mothman's not up front the whole time. That's maybe here. Here at the closest. There's our little Mothman hiding behind a tree. Oh, there we go. Isn't that not sweet? Okay, now I've got to take some pictures for the gram. Oh, here, look. We'll do it like this. Let's get that lighting right, gals. Ooh, yes. How do I look? Do I look good? Tray adorbs. There we go. Wonderful. Okay. Well, there it is, folks. Now you know how to make your own Point Pleasant TNT area gingerbread Mothman TNT area Mothman gingerbread house. There it is. Prometheusmas is just around the corner, my friends. On December 23rd, that Thursday show, we will most likely be right here doing Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister, but as it is, right before it is Prometheusmas season, and so odds are we're going to be streaming the Ridley Scott film Prometheus. It used to be on HBO Max. I think you have to pay to rent it now, which is a bit of a bummer, but this is a tradition. It's a Christmas film, after all. We're going to keep treating it like a Christmas film until it wins Thomas Schulte's Christmas movie contest. So join us for Prometheusmas next Thursday. We're going to be watching the classic Christmas film Prometheus. Also, coming up, December 22nd, Matrix Resurrections comes out. I just got to say it, folks. We were going to stream all the movies and do a watch-along here, and it just didn't work out time-wise with everything else that was going. See, here it is. That's the big question. Barefoot and 52. Very good. Very good. Don't think I didn't forget about streaming those extra Matrix films. We were going to do all three of them, and we only did the first one. I appreciate you for holding me accountable. Thank you for holding me accountable about streaming all of the Matrix films. I really wanted to. I really wanted to make that happen in time for the new one to come out and have them all watched before then. Unfortunately, it just did not work out that way. With everything else that happened in my life over the last couple of months. So it just didn't work out that we could stream them all. I really wanted to. Prometheusmas is a tradition, though. It's a Christmas film, and it's got that thing. But here's my hope, because, look, I'm going to watch Matrix Resurrections a number of times, and it's on HBO Max, so one of those times, we'll watch it together right here on the stream. We'll watch the new Matrix Resurrections together. I encourage you to watch the sequels. The sequels get a bad rap, and I don't know why. It puts in this incredible sci-fi world building. There's a lot of, philosophy talk. I get it. It's heavy. It's not people doing a bunch of somersaults in slow motion. There's a lot going on. The Wachowski sisters made this incredible and in-depth world, and it's so in-depth in the first movie, and it just gets more in-depth. And look, I like the real world stuff. Matrix Revolutions, I think the third film is probably my favorite of all three. I watched all of the films on repeat, waiting for my technical niece to be born. They were on loop on the BBC, and the BBC was primarily airing the sequels. They started with Matrix 2, then Matrix 3, then they did the first Matrix, then 2 and 3 again. I watched all of it. It was a lovely afternoon, so I encourage you to watch the sequels before the new one comes out. The Wachowski sisters are careful with the worlds that they craft, and even if you primarily only need to see the first Matrix to see the fourth one, there's going to be things if you watch all of them. So do give them a rewatch. Also coming up, this was going to also happen on the 22nd, and it got pushed back just yesterday. The James Webb Space Telescope is going to be launching on Christmas Eve now, the morning of Christmas Eve. So we might do a quick little stream there just to watch it go, and hopefully all will go as planned. And hopefully all will go as planned, because on our show on January 6th, our first show of the new year, we're hopefully, fingers crossed, if everything goes according to plan, we will hopefully get Kevin Hainline, who is a scientist who's been working on the James Webb Telescope. If you don't know what the James Webb Telescope is, it's like the Hubble Telescope, but it's way bigger. It's got more powerful technology. It's going to be able to look further out. It's going to be able to look at the surface of planets that are a little closer to us. We're going to be able to get a lot of stuff from this telescope, a lot of new information about space. And so we're going to be really thrilled, hopefully, to welcome this guest on the show at the start of the new year. And coming up soon as well, just a shout out to our friend, Sarah Cooper at the Snallygaster Museum, the American Snallygaster Museum. If you follow her on Instagram, the barn is scheduled to arrive right after Prometheusmas. And then, my friends, the American Snallygaster Museum is going to be getting set up and opened at the start of next year. So just be on the lookout for that. So many fun, strange, bizarre things happening in our neck of the woods and in our movie theaters. And here's my thing, folks. look, I really care about the Matrix. I'm invested, I'm not invested in this doing well in any way other than this sci-fi series is like one of my favorites. And if you look at the times on Regal, they've got us set up to fail here. I know. No Spider-Man spoilers. Don't post your Spider-Man spoilers. No, stop. Don't post Spider-Man spoilers in the chat, please. I'm begging you. But because everyone is so hype about this new Spider-Man, we are blessed with a new Matrix film. And you go to the Regal in Frederick, and well, the 610 and the 1055 are already sold out. But it's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 showings. This brand new Matrix film only got 6 showings off the bat, and they're not good showings. Like there's a 610, and then the next time is 9:40. And if you want to see it in IMAX, you got to go at 11:30 a.m. or 10:30 p.m. You get to Friday, you get to Christmas Eve when they shift over to the new schedule, and they only got it for 4 shows, and it's only in IMAX that first weekend. And then it's just 4 shows. So folks, the broadcasts of these theater people aren't expecting a lot out of the Matrix, and I think we gotta prove them wrong. I don't care what you're doing, I don't care what your other plans are. Go out there and see this movie, let's sell it out and make them add more showings. For the Wachowski sisters. All right. Okay, there we go. That's my that was not sponsored by Warner Brothers. But if they'd like to give me tickets to an advanced showing, I'd lose my mind. That's it. All right, there we go. That's everything that I need to talk about. No Virginia, the Maryland Ensemble Theater. You can check that out. You saw the promos. And there you go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in tonight. There's a poltergeist happening in the studio right now. Did we see that? We caught that on cam. There's no way I can record it. But this little bean, he flew at me. He flew at me, a poltergeist. It happened. Oh! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, it's not safe to be in here anymore. Prometheusmas is just around the corner, friends. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you back us on Patreon, thank you so much. If you haven't thought about backing us but are wondering how you can best spend your holiday bonus, head over to patreon.com/strangetimesindeed. Then you can join our Discord. It's not very lively, but that's because you're not there. And of course, here's Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. We take your calls every week to hear about the weird and the unexplained. If you've experienced anything weird, be on the lookout, because we'll have phone lines back open in the future. And remember, you can always send us your top secret tips and all that jazz to strangetipsindeed@gmail.com. Well, that's it for all the plugs. That's it for Strange Times Indeed tonight here on twitch.tv/metcomedynight. The Earth is in retrograde, so have a very merry Prometheusmas if we don't see you next week. And until then, stay strange, terrestrials.